So you're basically a type A workaholic,
Yeah, yeah, and then
compulsive,
some.
obsessive personality person.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Definitely the one as well, and it's the kind of person, and I really need to make this clear because it's the kind of person that everyone will look at and think is perfectly fine. No one sees it coming with me. You know what I mean? It can happen to anybody, and everyone looks at me thinking that everything's good and everything's all right, and that's not always the case.
well, that's what
And
happens with leaders, you know?
yeah,
Leaders
yeah,
are really good at hiding the breaking
yeah.
point. You're 30 years old?
30 years old. I'm 31 this year. Yeah,
I got to tell you that just from so far from this conversation and everything, you sound like one of the most brilliant, incredible 30-year-olds. The words that come out of your mouth, the way you speak, you're quick, you're fast, you analyze stuff, you're instant. I can really feel your energy.
I'm trying to find more strength in vulnerability now instead of strength through this kind of putting up this front and stuff and wearing the bloody mask that everyone's wearing. And I just want to be me now, and that's it, and throw caution to the wind and fuck anybody that doesn't like that, really.
My girlfriend actually said something to me years ago, which was like, if you can't work out, be spiritual, laugh, make money, just come up with 5 or 6 things that are good for everybody involved. One of them, then that person shouldn't be really in your life. And
No,
at one point, I gotta tell you, I went nuts too. I'm very similar to you in the sense that I'm multi-talented. I do a lot of different things. I'm a musician. I've got ideas. I can make shit happen instantly. People always want to take advantage, and I want to be part of that. I think one of the things also you're going through is the control issue. Not to be a control freak, but to be in control of your own personal destiny. Everybody wants that.
Exactly.
And if you feel after all this work and all this knowledge that you've amassed over the years that you're going to lose control, and you feel that, oh my God, everything I've learned, everything I've put in, everything I've fucking done, and I'm actually gonna crash now and I'm gonna lose control, because that, my friend, in music is called fear of success. You seem to have filled yourself up with so much knowledge that failure is not an option. So if failure is not an option, why the fuck would you fail? So now you're crashing, you're seeing everything black. The thought of you failing is like suicide. Thus for emoting it, thus for wanting to create it. But man, I gotta tell you, like, I'm a vibe person, and I can tell you that you are probably one of the smartest, fastest, incredible 30-year-old guys with experience I've ever met. I can tell this just by speaking to you. Your words, your assertiveness, your letters that I've read from you say to me that you are a great guy with so much fucking potential, and you are at a part right now in your age with everything you can teach people. People can help you to help yourself, and you can still be the leader. You see what I mean? Because it's okay for the leader to have a weak moment. You're not going to go ask for it at every step of the way. You're not going to go ask just anybody. But the certain people that are in your life that that can make a difference, you can't be afraid to go and say, you know what, man, I got a real fucking problem right now. Like, years ago, I was so fucked up from music because of the politics. Every time you think, I'm going to do something else to become a better musician. So I became an agent. I figured if I became an agent and I booked major motherfuckers, then they would let me open up for them because now I know rock stars. So then I got endorsed by a guy in Japan. So I said, oh, you're going to take me to the big trade shows. Now I'm going to get to hang out with the big fucking rock stars. And then I'll be able to do things with them, produce with them, write with them, etc. Only to realize that those people are just like you, me, and the buddy next door who doesn't even have a penny.
Yeah.
Everybody just has a different gig, and everybody's got problems at different levels.
I think now, and I hope I can say this with, can I keep a little bit of clarity on this? The most important thing, I think one thing that we look to do, we always look externally for answers. We always look to a degree to everyone else to sort out our problems. And I've found that a lot of people have come to me to sort out those little gaps in their existence and stuff, the things that they couldn't quite deal with themselves. So they procrastinate, they get all caught up, they do their thing. I just put your hand on your heart and go with it, feel yourself and stuff, and know that you're a little bit more important than sometimes you give yourself credit for. And that when you really, really need it, you've just got to call it in and people will be there for you. The right people will come to you. There's always someone out there in the same way that we've met as well. You know, you've been fantastic in some of the conversations that we've been having. I've had a couple of friends, people that I really didn't think at the time were as true and as kind of honest and stuff as I maybe thought they would have been. And they've really, really shown their true colours. Certain people in positive ways, certain people in others. But they're just, you just got to keep your hand on your heart and just know that it's always going to be okay. That whenever you think your time's up, the chances are it's probably not. You know what I mean? I'm quite fortunate that they found me quick enough, but to have lived through, if they hadn't found me quick enough, you know, we're talking about massive liver damage, a lot of damage to my body, and I'd still be here. I just think there's always someone there, hand on your heart, just go out there and stuff and find it, call it in and have a little bit of confidence in yourself. It's never as bad as you think it is. It's never as bad as you think it is. Men are very, very scared of being vulnerable, you know what I mean? You don't want to cry, you don't want to show emotion, you don't want to do anything else. And in light of everything that's happened, I've probably found more strength than I've ever had in being vulnerable. Something that I feared for years than I ever had when I was putting up that front and telling everyone that it was okay. And that's out to music, you know, take yourself out of the comfort zone now and again. We've got these wonderful little constructive bubbles that we live in. And now and again, when you step out of that, it is so bloody amazing, but you've just got to have the balls to go out there and have a look at it and see what
you are so right, dude, because I gotta tell you, like, nothing more than a woman, for instance, likes that when a man can be strong, solid, but also be sensitive, right?
No, definitely.
And if that means you gotta cry in front of her or cry with her, that doesn't make you less of a man. As a matter of fact, it makes you more of a powerful man.
I know there's going to be a lot of people, if they hear this, that will understand this. I think there's a lot more of what would be considered my generation that is a lot more hypersensitive than the generation that fell before us. That creative side, you know, art, architecture, design, those kind of things, that's my true love, that's my passion. I love that creativity. I want to be back to that. The music's starting to come back in again a little bit more now, and I think I've probably got a little bit more to write about than certain things. But,
exactly.
You've got to mix it up a little bit. It's and keep the brain stimulated and going with stuff, because if you get that tunnel vision on and start losing sight of who you are and what you are, it can get very, very dark very, very quickly.
But you see, again, I'm going to tell you, it's because I think of your intense creativity, okay? So some people are really creative, and that can bring you to a state of mind of like complete darkness if you're not careful. And some people wish they had all that creativity. If you got a feeling inside you and you're feeling all fucked up, then you got to do something about it. You got to go to the end of your thoughts, right? Not killing yourself if you feel like killing yourself, but like the problem is people get to that point because they feel that they can't do something that they'd like to do.
Yeah.
And they feel that there is no way or nobody is going to be able to make that happen. So in other words, we're letting other people dictate how we feel. In his case, in my case, it starts, really, it gets rooted through music, right? I look at everything like a musical arrangement, even if it's not. Tell me that music hasn't really helped you to decipher the rest of your life. Just because you work on Pro Tools, because you can see tracks and you understand, you know, your average person listens to music in a stereo format. So it comes in, it's background music, or you like the feel, or you like the vibe, but somebody like you and I, we can listen to it in 12 parts by separating all the instruments and real time and seeing how it comes in and out. And that affects the way you look at stuff. Therefore, our brains can easily get more fucked up because there's a lot of open pores and channels that can easily get clouded up, you know what I mean? As long as you get a way to get your outlet and express yourself and not be so hard on yourself. You're just trying to be creative and do your stuff, and we let a bunch of A&R guys or a bunch of bad friends, you know what I mean, with their crappy opinions, you know? Like I've always said, you know, at the end of my workday, even when I worked at a job, if I want to call it, I don't go out and hang out for a beer 5 days a week with my buddies and talk about nothing. I've always come home and worked on a project, something that job didn't let me do, you know what I mean? Let's build a record. Let me learn how to do a software that I didn't know how to do. Let me do this thing, probably very much what you've done, you know what I mean? And this is what's created like my freedom and your freedom. to be able to generate this stuff, make it happen. Very few people can do this, yet everybody can do it in their own way, right?
No, exactly.
This is the thing, you know. So, I mean, I got to tell you, dude. I really want to thank you for, you know, for talking to me about this, and you know.
No, listen, and really sincerely on this as well. Thank you for listening. It's. I think we both understand, obviously, the capabilities of this. It's you know, just to have time to talk stuff through. We've got a great vibe, and I just. It was really important we kind of spoke and stuff, and it was lovely to get that reply back from you and have an opportunity. And then I did this chat as well. And,
dude, you too, man.
And be able to help people, man. It's taken me a long time to realise. I don't know, just to be able to say no and not feel bad about it.
Exactly.